What is good, everybody? I'm out of focus. Hold on, let's fix this thing. Hold on, let's get this right. Let's get it right. Come on now. Maybe. Not yet. It is what it is. Hold on, we'll fix this. 1 second. I'm still here. Hopefully that fixes it. There we go. All right. It's better. Sometimes it's easier to just do that than it is to try and let it refocus. I have it on such a slow thing, but I worried about it because sometimes when I look down at my phone, it does take the focus off of me. But I look down because we had some crazy news happen right now from Ian Rappaport talking about there was a gunman in New York at the NFL offices. Don't know if they were really targeting the NFL offices, but they were there in that building, which is pretty crazy and pretty scary. But look, folks, we are here for the final Best Ball Summer live stream of our series. We've been doing this for like 11 or 12 weeks now, a couple months of the summer. Just been trying to rip through some best ball drafts, do some best ball manias with you guys. We are going to be doing that here tonight. So, you know, I got my sun hat on. It is super hot and humid over here on the East Coast. I am sweating in the house, so it does feel like summer. I see we got Garage in the building. He says, let's go. Anthony says, what is this channel? What is this game called? Best Ball. You're about to find out now, Anthony. And Victory says, yo, what up, man? So look, this is what we're going to be doing. I will show you guys on screen. I do like to do this with you guys if you guys want to join. We are loading up right now. I'm going to click enter in about 20-ish seconds. It's the 20-second lobby here in the Best Ball Mania 6. So if you want to try and get in a lobby with me and draft against me here tonight to potentially compete here for $2 million in first place in the Best Ball Mania 6 series, I strongly suggest you do so. But that's probably about a 20-second spiel there. So let's hop in. Let's see what we're looking at as far as drafts go, and see if we can get this started. Now, as always, we are going to be using BBO Best Ball Overlay during this draft. As you guys can see, the combination tool popped up, but that is something that we are using to get an edge in Best Ball here this year. Shows you your exposures on the screen, shows you those weeks 15 through 17, championship weeks when we are trying to be advancing. You see those matchups on the screen as well. You can see different combinations that you've had of certain players. Tells you a bunch of good stuff, has a super cool dashboard as well. If you want to use Best Ball Overlay, you're into Best Ball and you need an extra tool, or you want an extra tool, maybe you don't need it. I feel like there's people who are very savvy drafters that can benefit from having this. Use code LEAGUEFFB over at bestballoverlay.com and they will get you in. Is Johnny in the stream? Because I see Johnny Detroit right here drafting in front of us, and I know Johnny is a viewer of the channel. So is Johnny in the stream? I'd love to know. Anybody else? Are you guys in here with us tonight? We are drafting from the 7th slot, so we will make that selection and see how that goes. But if you don't want to sign up over Best Ball Overlay, you don't want to get that 25% off your monthly subscription, you can support us over on Underdog, and I'll tell you how to do that right now. Playing drafts or sweating pick'ems, there's no off season on Underdog, which means there's still plenty of ways to cash in big this summer. No matter the sport you're watching, Underdog has you covered, and all you have to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite athletes from whatever sport, put them into a pick'em entry, watch the winning multiplier increase, click play, and win real cash. So what are you waiting for? Download Underdog and start playing today. Plus, when you use promo code LEAGUEFFB, Underdog will give you a new customer special, which is a free square for your first pick'em entry, and they will give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash, giving you the perfect head start to winning big on Underdog. So if you want to support our show and get in on some daily fantasy sports action, click the link in our description to sign up for Underdog using code LEAGUEFFB. So thank you to our sponsors over at Underdog, and with that out of the way, let's get back into the action. All right, I did see your guys' message during the commercial break. We are going to be selecting Malik Neighbors here. I noticed you said music is super loud, so apologize. Usually I use my Elgato to click that, and I realized on my Elgato I have it turned down, and I couldn't do that at the beginning. So hopefully that's all right, and hopefully it's good now, because it should be straight from the Elgato, so we should be all right. A little bit of amateur hour to start this, but hey, what can you do? This is what happens when you try and hop on and stream very last second. Was eating dinner, hanging out with the wife, doing stuff like that, procrastinated. But hey, here we are, we're ready to roll. Malik Neighbors is our first selection. I am going to be going with him. You see, when we get Malik Neighbors here, it does kind of update this tool for us to where we can kind of see best players available by ADP. It'll show you how many times your exposure has been there and how many times you've combined them there in that tournament. Now, this is filtered to all tournaments. I am going to go to Best Ball Mania. We haven't drafted Malik Neighbors on a BBM team yet, so that is something we're going to be looking at. That also updated here, so that's good. That's all I care about. But let's see what we can put together here and see if we can get a good team rolling here for our last one tonight. Johnny, I did see you say it was you in the draft with us, so appreciate it. Let's see. You did take me on a Jefferson there, Johnny. I would have liked to get some Justin Jefferson. All right, we're about to be up on the clock. You got Washington, Minnesota, and Las Vegas as potential correlation. Would have loved to grab Achane there. Not going to end up getting him. This could be interesting in the aspect of we could potentially go... Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be between Ladd and Bowers. I was going to go Brock. I'm going to just go A.J. Brown, though. I think he's the best player on the board. He has correlation with Las Vegas as well. Maybe we get some Jacoby Myers and maybe some Geno Smith later in the draft, potentially. But we'll see. I'm going A.J. Brown, though, for that one. Bryant, my guy, he says, didn't get in this one, but I have a dynasty question. Half PPR, start 8 super flex. I have Jonathan Taylor and Saquon, Mahomes, Dak, Daniel Jones, and Ward as quarterback. Would you trade Ward for Chase Brown and Joe Milton? With Mahomes, Dak, and Daniel Jones, I don't think so. I don't think I would. I do like the idea that you would be handcuffing and getting Chase Brown, but in a start 8, that's tough. I don't think I would. I would still use Cam Ward, but that's a good offer, and I think it's worth considering. But I can't imagine you're going to be starting Chase Brown over JT or Saquon most weeks. Maybe over JT. But I think Dak and Mahomes are going to start for you most weeks too. Yeah, I don't think I would. It's a fair offer though. You could really go either way. If you want to run with the running back and just secure and have, the insurance, maybe you can pick up Mahomes backup as well just to have the insurance, maybe, but yeah. That's a good trade, Brian. It's dead even for me. Parker says, what do you think of this team? Hurts, Achane, Chase Brown, CD Rice, Evan Engram, Zay, Swift. I like the team. I like the running backs. Lots of upside there. Love the quarterback. Wide receivers with CD Rice. Good. I think, Rice, obviously with the suspension looming, we'll see. But Evan Engram, sleeper at the tight end position. Solid roster there, Parker. Bryant says he'd be in my flex. Yeah. You know what I would try and do actually is your team's ready to compete. I don't mind making that move to get Chase Brown in the flex if you can secure like a backup QB. Maybe move Daniel Jones in something to get like a little bit of a better option. Maybe a guy like Geno, that I think is going to be a starter for the Raiders the whole year, like things like that. I wouldn't mind you doing it if you could secure like a low-end backup. I just don't like having the 2 QBs. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. All right, so we're here at this pick. I'm going to just tee up T. Higgins here just as a precautionary. I think he's going to be the selection anyways. If I flip over to A.J. Brown, we don't have any combinations with T. Higgins anyways, so that's fine with me. And that gives us a very strong wide receiver room to start off with. So we have paired AJ with where's the combination? Let's see. Brees Hall, JMO, a couple other options. And I do like that it shows you your average pick and then where their draft position is. So like you can see when you've been getting values on guys. All right, for this next pick, I would love to go like Brees Hall or potentially James Cook. Grab us one of these running backs. I probably... would prefer James over Brees, honestly, at this point in time. I know he's holding out for a contract. I just don't imagine that keeps him out of games this year. But we'll see. Johnny says sniped at every pick. He's probably going to, yeah, probably going to be doing that to me, huh? Jaden Daniels. See what happens, though. I like taking my first running back right in this range. Kyron Williams sometimes falls. I like him there. He obviously isn't falling here. He ended up going a little bit after RT, just one spot after RT Higgins' pick. There goes Breeze. There goes Kittle. Two of the best picks here in this range. James Cook. I guess if we don't, I would have potentially went with like Jalen Hurts. But yeah, I'm going to go James Cook. I'm passing up on the Philly stack to get James Cook and have the running back. But that's okay. It's a premium stack. I'm all right, you know, trying to back stack it somewhere else and go from there. We have that Buffalo correlation as well with Philly, which is interesting. Obviously not going to get the QBs. But either way. Let's go back to the combo tool, bring that back up. I just want to keep checking how many James Cooks do we have. 11.1% in BBMs. We've been pairing him with Pacheco, Herbert, and Joku. Oh, we had a Jalen Hurts. No, we didn't. We didn't have a Jalen Hurts one. A lot of George Pickens in these BBMs so far for us as well. We'll probably stay away from that one. But I've been clicking George Pickens a lot. I like George Pickens this year as a pick, man. I think that Dallas offense is going to be so good. I know Guyton, their offensive lineman this year, just tore the ACL going into the season. So, or at least that's the fear, I think, is what I saw. But yeah, a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to see it, but I still think that Dallas offense is going to be crazy good for passing volume. Burrow, Pickens, Hubbard. I mean, brother, are we really about to? Are we really about to? Johnny, are you going to do it? You going to do the double QB thing or what? Just to spite me? What are we doing, Johnny? DJ Moore. Holy hell, guys. We just got Jalen Hurts around past ADP to secure with the AJ Brown stack, and we still pulled the James Cook. What in the hell? What a damn value right there. I love that for us. Morik says, you got an add-on or something? Those weeks 15, 16, 17 opponents go hard. Yeah, this is a Best Ball overlay. They're a sponsor of the show. We have a promo code with them. But it's a tool that you can add on, you can use. It gives you those bye weeks or those championship weeks, 15, 16, 17. It allows you to see a little bit of the correlation. That's what this combination tool is too. So you can see, like, I've drafted, no Malik Neighbors in BBM so far, but AJ Brown I have. These are the combinations I've been putting with him, was like Jalen Warren, Kelsey. You get to see all of that stuff on the screen. So it makes it really easy when you're in these fast 20-second lobbies to go from there. Johnny says, I tried but glitched. Johnny, thank you for having internet issues there. But let's see what we got. I mean, I don't mind going with, RB2 here or wide receiver 4. Doesn't matter to me. We're kind of Going to be an early quarterback, late tight end type of build. Rome Odunze has been a favorite click of mine in drafts this year. I firmly believe in the year 2 breakout. Caleb Johnson would have been a great pick, I think, potentially. Jordan Addison is a player that I like. But when I'm looking at all these options, I will just shoot for the upside in this BBM with RJ Harvey. I'll have him be my number 2 running back. So we'll go with Harvey there and James Cook. And then I think that's going to put me right back into wide receiver territory for my next one, potentially. I guess it depends. I am a big fan of Pacheco. Been drafting him a lot. Maybe don't want this high of exposure in those BBMs. So maybe I'll get away from that click just once or twice. Don't mind going with one of these guys. These guys have been rising. Reed and, I mean, not Reed. Egbuka has been rising. Obviously, you have the Green Bay picks here. We'll see what happens. Pearsall's a riser, I think, potentially being activated. Let's see. James Cook, we've been pairing him with Olave and Pacheco. So we could go Olave. We do have that combination before Hawkinson, but I don't want to take the early tight end here. How beautiful is this? You see Dylan Sampson's ADP has risen all the way to 144, and my average click on Dylan Sampson has been 186, and I've been still drafting him at a higher ADP right now, so it was probably even lower than this before I started rising that. But you love to see that value there. Obviously nothing that, you know, was controllable, but I just figured he was going to have a role, and this off-the-field stuff with Judkins has made it even more prominent, I think, potentially. All right, Olave's still there. I may toy with it. Never mind. Favorite DGen just took him. We'll see what else we got. I think I am going to go wide receiver, though. Shakir could be interesting. Golden and Egbuka are interesting as well. Let's pull that combination tool back up. Swift comes off the board. I think I'm just going to go Khalil Shakir here and let him be the wide receiver 4. We do have that correlation, so still in line there. Let's see what happens next. Maybe, at this point we can go back to the running back well, depending on what is there, maybe not, but I also want to try and line up something else at the QB position. You could go Bo Nix with RJ Harvey and try and get that like running back stack to the pass catching work potentially, but that would also require taking Nix a little early. He's a top 100 pick right now. But it'd be interesting. Nate says, I'm starting to get excited about Deontay Johnson again. Any interest with him? Nah, I think I'm done with the Deontay Johnson stuff, man. I don't know. I have a couple shares in Dynasty that have basically just been sunken ships that are just sitting there waiting for signs of life so I can sell them. But I'm not super excited about them anymore. I think if we're talking Cleveland wide receivers, the Cleveland wide receiver that I've been taking more draft picks of is Cedric Tillman. I've been taking a lot of Cedric Tillman. All right, we're pulling up on our next pick here. Potentially, I was looking at Pollard potentially there. Don't mind maybe going somewhere else. I'm trying to get away from ETN a little bit. I've been taking a ton of him when he was late. Nix ends up coming off the board, which is fine. Why don't we go... let's go Aaron Jones. I can take some Aaron Jones. Got some PPR receiving running backs here. I was between him and Jordan Mason, but why not just take the starter when the starter's sitting there, right? Was also looking potentially at Downs or Mooney. Those would be interesting picks. Mooney obviously hurt the shoulder. Downs was a guy that, has some quarterback issues, I think, at the moment. But those would be guys. If Mooney falls to the next pick, maybe I'll take him. But again, that shoulder injury is a little bit worrisome with him. Obviously, going to be out multiple weeks, but it doesn't matter because Uncle Benji is going to take him. I almost said Bengay because I was watching Happy Gilmore 2 the other night with my wife, and I remembered that they put it in the locker. I don't know why that was at the top of mind. No spoilers though. But I thought it was a good movie. I know people are talking mad trash about it on the internet. I thought it was enjoyable. Maybe not it's not gonna win like a fucking any awards or anything, but I think at the end of the day it's a funny sit down and just enjoy it little comedy movie. It is what it is. It's an Adam Sandler movie. What the hell? Getting too much hate in my opinion, and I think the people who don't like it probably didn't even watch the original Happy Gilmore until it was Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. Scatabo rising in value. Camp hype is real. Definitely getting some camp hype for sure. It's a matter of when he takes over, not if. Obviously they drafted him for a reason, but I still think they can be used in a committee there. Let's see what this next pick is looking like. I wouldn't mind seeing what we can land. Potentially. I mean, there's lots of running backs still on the board. I think I'm going to stay out of this tier, though. I try to stay quiet because I know Johnny was listening. I'm going to go QB, though. I'm going to try and take Dak Prescott and let him be QB2, and then we'll be done at the quarterback position. Like I said, I think that offense is going to be really good for passing volume this year. So we'll take him, see if we can stack him with something a little bit later. I think the only thing at this point would be like Jake Ferguson. That would be the only potential stack you can grab with him. And if we don't stack it, it's okay. I'm okay with my QB2 being a solo pick, not really having any correlation there. That's fine. What else do we have that we could look at? Who is your number one stay away, do not draft player? Good question. Actually, great question, Anthony, because tomorrow's video on the channel is players to avoid in fantasy football this year, one from every round. And so I'm trying to think of that list of players, who's the most stay away from. I think right now for me, stay away is I'm not touching Joe Mixon with the 10-foot pole right now. I'm not touching Joe Mixon anymore. I was in the offseason a little bit, drafting some best ball teams. I had some exposure, but if I have a single season redraft league with my friends and family, I'm not touching him. Johnny says Dak was the top of my queue. He's the perfect QB2 because I think you're going to get plenty of QB1 spike weeks out of him. Let's see. We're done at QB. We can probably find something here to add another player. I'm probably going to look at the wide receiver position. I don't know. I think we're getting too good of value on... I'm okay taking Tracy. I think I'm going to take Tracy. I know we just talked about camp hype, but hey, this is probably going to put us in a position too where we might be able to stop at 5 running backs and then just load up on the wide receivers and tight ends the rest of the way, which will be an interesting build because when I'm pulling up, I'll show you. I have these on my computer here, and I'll try and pull it over to the screen so you guys can see it, what I'm looking at here. This is... Come on now. Let me minimize this just a little bit so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm looking at these builds. These are builds, basically, like how much people use them and how those have advanced over the last couple of BBMs. So when I'm looking at it, like a 3573, which is not what we're building, but like if it's a 3573, you can see these are pretty high advance rates for those specific builds. So I have this on my computer. This was from Hayden Winks at Underdog. Been looking at this, but ours would be something like, it would be 2-3, so probably 2583, something here. So this is kind of what we're looking at for our builds specifically. So there you have it. 2583 is the build kind of we're going for. Where's Ferg? Excuse me, guys. Sorry. We could go Goddard and Ferg. Both of those guys correlated picks, 38 and 42. That would be like here if we wanted to take one of them. Something like that. We'll see what happens. We'll take one with the next pick. But this pick, I am going to go 14, 9, 10, 7. We could stay tight in here. I have him in a ton of BBMs, actually. I'm not going to do that. 33%, we're probably not going to be in on Marvin Mims. Maybe a guy like Hollywood, maybe Christian Kirk. Kyle Williams would be interesting. Colson Loveland off the board. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just call this... Let's go Hollywood. Rice suspension. Potential to get some usage out of him early in the year. I was thinking Tajay Spears maybe just to be done. And that's a bye week that we wouldn't have to worry about. But I think there's value at the running back position later. Even guys like White or Dylan Sampson or Garendo or Algier or whatever you want it to be. Jalen Wright even later in drafts. Rico Dowdle if you want him to be the pick later in drafts. Like, I think there's so much value in the running back position where we're looking at RB5 anyways. Probably just wait and take the wide receiver and hope that he can crack the lineup more often than the running back 5 would on our roster. So we'll go there. I think this next selection for sure has to be Goddard or Ferg. See if we can grab one of those guys and go from there. Obviously, we get correlation with either of them because we have both of the quarterbacks. So, lined up fine. I think if I were going to pick between the two, I like Ferguson more than I like Goddard. But that's just personal choice. Caleb says no invite is crazy. If you were here on time, Caleb, I waited for everybody to join the lobby. So, you know, you got to get here on time, buddy. Anthony says Bigsby's value rising at running back for RB5 for sure. He could potentially be a guy that you take as well. Tootin, if you still like Tootin. There's a lot of options. Like I said, like we don't have to force an RB pick right now. Kyle Williams is really interesting. Do we play chicken at tight end and potentially miss out on both of these guys? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Why not? We're playing chicken. I know we got to get past Johnny twice now, but Johnny has 3 tight ends on the roster. He has Laporta, Warren, and Loveland. If he takes another one, I don't know. That's rough if you have 4 tight ends, but hey, I wouldn't put it past Johnny. He takes Bigsby. That's a good pick. But yeah, we'll play the chicken game here. See if we can get one of these tight ends to fall. If not, it's fine. If we don't, it's fine. Kincaid's still there. You could also go with like Pitts is the first tight end. We're gonna do 3 tight ends anyways, so at the end of the day, it's who cares. Ertz, look at the double correlation here for Ertz maybe. Hunter Henry, you can always throw him in. Gesicki, Brenton Strange, like you're just taking dart throws, so we'll do that. We're punting that tight end 5 a little bit further, which is fine. I could go Nick Chubb even if we wanted to go Nick Chubb or Braylon Allen or something like that. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. What do we got here? Nate says, my hottest take is Tracy will be a league winner this year. In my opinion, that rookie year film was amazing. His regression had a lot to do with O-line falling apart. I liked him a lot. If hopefully I have some people around the channel that were here last year that could, say that I also said this, but I was a Tyrone Tracy guy last year. I like Tyrone Tracy as a dart throw in the later rounds of drafts. So I definitely like him as well. Ferguson gets sniped. That's fine. Your favorite DGen takes Lamb, Goddard, Ferguson. Is this just to spite me? I took Lamb. I think he might be trying to spite me here, huh? Maybe. Okay, so that puts us in a situation here where we could grab another. Could go another wide receiver. What did I say we were going to do? 2-5-8-3. I've been talking about Tillman, man. I think I'm going to take Tillman. What did I say we were going to do? 2-5-8-3? Let me look at that again. 2-5-8-3. Yeah. Yeah, those are good advance rates. Okay, so we need one running back, one wide receiver, and our 3 tight ends to finish off this team. I think for the next selection, I will just grab that RB5 since we're going to stop at 5. Ertz, I take Ertz all the time late. Yeah, he's not a bad pick if you think he still has some juice. Scribble says, I like where Aaron Jones goes. I think the fact that him and Jordan Mason are back-to-back picks in a lot of these drafts is kind of crazy, because I do think that Jordan Mason is the 1B in that offense, and he has obviously a lot of upside if Aaron Jones gets hurt. But I still think it's like they paid Aaron Jones to come back, and they didn't pay a lot, like trade value-wise, to go get Jordan Mason. So I know they're going to use both. They've said they're going to use both, but I think Aaron Jones still gets it done, man. DJ Giddens is my fave late round running back. Taylor just can't stay healthy. Yes, but that offense might be really bad. But I understand the pick. I like him too. 2-5-8-3. Yes. Yep. All right. With our next pick here, I really don't mind. I don't mind going Rashad White. I don't mind Tyler Algier as a high-end handcuff. White comes off the board. Hopefully we can get Algier. If not, I think I'm okay ripping Gesicki. But I think Algier is the pick for me. We're getting good value on Leggett too. Is there bad news about Leggett? No, I mean this is 2 months ago, but did y'all see Lloyd got hurt again? Shaking my head. I saw it. I don't know what I expected out of him anyways. I'm going to go Algier. I kind of wanted to go Leggett, but I'm going to go Algier. Have him be our last guy. If Bijan goes down, league winner right here, Tyler Algier, if he goes down. And then we'll see. Leggett maybe is the next pick. We could go Gesicki. But we're stopping at 5, so I guess I'm just going to pull this up, and this is really what our board is going to be looking like from here on out. Johnny with the Jack Besh pick. Don't mind it. Been loving Jalen McMillan's value in drafts this year as well. This is a really solid team, man. It's funny because, like I said, this is our last one of the summer for this series, this summer series. I think I might do this every year. This is our first year doing like the summer stream series. Maybe people enjoyed it, maybe not. I don't really know until I go back and look at the analytics, I guess, at the end of the year. But for this being the last Best Ball Mania team, it's turned out pretty solid, man. This might be one of my favorites that we've drafted. One of, maybe not the favorite, but one of them for sure. I think I got a Jared Goff, J.J. McCarthy, Vikings, Lions, Week 17 stack, which was that was a really fun team. This Godwin stuff is ominous. I thought it was always going to be a slow burn with Godwin, man. I haven't drafted a ton of him. That's why I've been drafting a lot of Jalen McMillan. I drafted a lot of Igbuka earlier. I like Igbuka a lot as a prospect, too, that goes into it. But really, big winner here is Mike Evans, man. Mike Evans is probably a big winner early on in the season. I just want to make sure that our tight ends are on like solid offenses that are going to pass the football a lot. That's why I have Gesicki here. Mason Taylor's an interesting tight end to put in a 3 tight end build because he has a lot of upside. Obviously, rookie tight ends sometimes take a little bit of time to get going, but as far as target competition, wide receiver 2 there's Josh Reynolds, so should have some opportunities. Maybe a stack on an Elijah Arroyo, who's been having a decent camp. Things like that. We'll see. But I do think I'm going to go, assuming Johnny doesn't take him. I don't know why he would, but I'm going to go Mike Gesicki, I think, with the next one. Johnny with 4 tight ends. Johnny, my guy, what are we doing? Crazy build. If Jalen McMillan's still there with our next pick, I'm okay taking it. Downey Brown's another player that I like. We could always go Ertz or Otten or Taylor. Those are guys that I like. Schultz is interesting. Should be an offense that passes the football a ton. I think outside of that, I'm not super in love with anybody. But I think ideally we grab... There goes Downey. Okay, so our next pick, I'm okay pushing our last wide receiver to the very end. There's some late dart throws you can throw. Sorry, I just passed a bunch of those. Kyle Williams finally has profile picture. Thank God, man. I feel like it's taken so long for them to get profile pictures. And Sleeper still needs to get the damn profile pictures in there too. What are we doing? Igbuka has the archetype wide receiver to explode in the NFL. Loved Igbuka, man. I loved him a lot. Thoughts on Chig with Cam? Cam loves his tight end checks. I hope Okonkwo kind of gets a little bit more play. We'll see, man. He's definitely a good dart throw if you think that they can take a step forward under Cam as a rookie. But I think you got to hope that that just improves. I'm glad I got Igbuka shares early. His price is skyrocketing up for sure. I play a lot of 2 tight end BB leagues. Makes sense. Scribble says Sleeper is def sleeping right now. Damn straight. We're about to be up on the clock. I'm okay with us going. There goes Otten. What the hell in the tight end room? What the hell? I'm going Mason Taylor. Grab us a guy here that can be a target guy. I'm okay with Okonkwo, I guess. We'll throw him in here. Another guy who's been getting some decent press, I guess, some camp buzz has been JT Sanders. They said he came into camp slim, looking quicker. Maybe a better year for him. Freiermuth is like nasty, dirty, ugly pick, but like so safe. I feel like I think he's still going to be involved in this offense. And from there, I don't know, man. So we'll see. Cole Kmet still probably could be involved as well if you want to play that game. Fant, do you want to take the dart throw? He's visiting the Dolphins. If he gets, look, meeting in Miami, if he gets signed, my hell, everybody who drafted Darren Waller for like 2 weeks is going to hate their life because Noah Fant will come in and take his lunch money, and they'll utilize Noah Fant, I think, similar to how they did Jonnu last year. So he's definitely a sneaky guy to watch because he's going to sign. Maybe I'll sneak him there as a last second type of option. Dusk says, feels like Wan'Dale Robinson is slept on. I think he is. I've been drafting a lot of him. I'll show you guys after this draft. We can kind of go through and look at some of my exposures if you guys want, because we are quickly wrapping up, the best ball summer for me. I'm probably going to be done drafting all of my best ball teams here in about 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks right before the season, I'm probably not going to be ripping many of them. Got too much stuff going on. And then I got to finish a bunch of slow drafts. I'm in like 45 or 50 slow drafts still that need to finish. So we'll look at those exposures, and then I think by the time this is all said and done, I'll probably be somewhere around like flirting with 200 teams across all these tournaments. But let's see, man. How do we feel about taking a shot on Keenan Allen, maybe as a guy who signs? I feel like if he hasn't signed yet, though, it might say something a little bit more. Maybe we just take the tight end. I don't mind Schultz. Let's go Schultz, man. That offense is going to have to pass the football a lot. If Mixon's banged up, I mean, even more so. So we'll go Schultz, have him be the pick, and then we need to tack on one more wide receiver. So let's find our sleeper little wide receiver pick here. Dante Thornton's interesting. We said we could get some correlation there. Keenan Allen, I think, is still in play. Naylor's an interesting pick early in the season. I've been taking some Adonai. Jermaine Burton. Maybe Deontay. But we have Tillman, right? Yeah, we have Tillman. Okay, Sean. Some Jalen Lane, maybe. There's lots of options to take as a dart throw here. Wandale had 140 targets last year, which is just so gross. Quarterback play is going to be bad. He's like a PPR merchant, man. Darius Slayton's kind of underrated too, dude. Like, I just brushed over him. We got Malik Neighbors, but he's kind of underrated too. All right, chat, let me know, hopefully before this pick comes up, who are we feeling? List a couple names. Who are we feeling off of this list? I think Thornton makes a ton of sense. Naylor, if we wanted to go Naylor. I'm okay with any of them. Slayton is a great name. What are you thinking, folks? I guess Thornton is my dart throw here, I guess. Let's do it. Been running with the ones all summer is what it sounds like. Maybe a deep play guy in this offense with Geno. Who knows? The analytic profile for Thornton was pretty interesting as well, as a late round pick. Woody Marks, good pick, Johnny. I like that pick for you. Muth, Sanders. So what do we think, man? Pretty solid roster. We did go with that 2-5-8-3. You got Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, James Cook, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, and Tyler Algier. Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown, T. Higgins, Khalil Shakir, Hollywood Brown, Kyle Williams, Cedric Tillman, Dante Thornton, and then Gesicki, Taylor, and Schultz at the tight end position. Not bad. And let's just refresh this. And like I said, we will go over some of these exposures real quick. Dust says he likes it. Got the stamp of approval. But looking at my exposures right now, we should be at like 91 completed with like 50 slows going. There's 91. So let's look at these exposures real quick, man. QBs, guys I've been drafting a lot of. Actually, let's do this, because this is a better way to look at this, I think. bestballoverlay.com. If we're looking at exposures, let's just filter through everybody, man. Highest exposure players to the lowest exposure players. Oh, it's a little bit zoomed in. Let's see if we can get this zoomed out a tiny bit. Oh, it's just going even worse and worse. I will just kind of say the name. You guys can kind of see the name here. I got to zoom out on my stream, which is a lot harder. But let's do this. That's fine. That's fine, right? That's fine. So what we got here is David Montgomery, He's my highest exposure running back. You can see my average pick was about 70. Pacheco, Kyron Williams, Jalen McMillan, James Cook, Jordan Addison, Travis Etienne. Dak Prescott's been one of my highest drafted players, actually my highest drafted quarterback at this point. Been getting him in the 120s. His ADP is now sitting around that 108 range. Kincaid, Ferguson, Barkley, Rome, Najee, Tua, Otten, Schultz, Freiermuth, Bijan, Sutton, Smith, Waddle, Zay. All these guys mixing way too high. Don't love that. But going back over to here, you guys can kind of see them broken up at positions. Let me just actually get that back out and get that out of here. So yeah, back at positions. Tua, Stafford, McCarthy, Kyler, Penix, Prescott, Goff, Stroud. Running back wise, Pacheco, Etienne, Sampson, Cook, Kyron. Don't love that I'm so high on Etienne, but it is what it is, man. His price was so cheap. McMillan, Addison, Wandell, T, Shakir, and then tight ends, top fives are Ferguson, Schultz, Kincaid, Pitts, Kelsey. Also don't know how the fuck this happened because I've not been a Pitts guy at all, basically ever, and somehow he's like number 4. So what the hell is happening here? I think it's because I'm getting a lot of London Penix teams, and it's easy to tack on a Kyle Pitts later at the tight end position. So that's kind of that, man. As I said, you know, this is the last of those best ball summer streams that we're going to be doing here over the I guess now that the summer's kind of wrapping up here, we're getting into August, which is really, you know, when the content starts to really grind. Football season right around the corner. Just to give you guys an idea of what is on the schedule here over the next couple of weeks, really just in the month of August in general, we have our divisional breakdown series that is going to be coming out on the channel. So you'll get 1 division, 2 divisions every week for the next 4 weeks, starting, you know, kind of going directionally. So like north, south, east, west, you'll get the AFC and the NFC each in 1 week. Separate videos, probably about 30, 45-minute long videos, where we talk about players we like, how we think teams are going to do, all that good stuff. I'm going to give you guys some redraft strategy, going to give you guys some dynasty trade shows, updated rankings, all of that good stuff, man. Players to avoid, bust, sleepers, breakouts, values, and then before you know it, the season's going to be here. So very excited for it. I'm going down to Las Vegas for my home league draft in that final second to last week of August. So that'll be a fun weekend. We vlogged it last year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to vlog it this year. It was a super dope piece of content last year. I loved it. One of my favorite pieces we've done all year. And hey, I'm not going to be able to do it this year, but I'm trying to make sure that that doesn't ever happen again, because I'd love to make that a tradition. And I know you guys really liked it. Other than that, though, it's grind time, man. It's grind time. Appreciate everybody for being here and supporting the channel, as always. You know, I can never say that enough. You guys are really, you know, the heartbeat of this community. You know, I'd like to think that I make this thing run, but you guys are really the heartbeat. You guys keep it fruitful, and you guys provide life to it. So I appreciate you all. Your support means everything to me, man. It's the whole reason why I can do this here in this life. So thank you all very much, very much. But I think with that said, I have nothing else for you guys today. I will see you guys here very soon. Like I said, more content on the way. But with all that out of the way, see you on the next episode. Till then, peace out.